2, 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the lesson here for Handsome Molly in the key of A. I've created 2 arrangements that sit at the beginner to intermediate level. We're going to start breaking down that first arrangement right now. Bring the camera on in, put the tabs upon the screen. If you want to access the full length version, download the complete tabs and the multi-speed backing tracks. Click the link in the description below. And also be sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you know when more lessons like these come out. So let's go for it. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the first few measures of the first arrangement here for Handsome Molly up on the screen. And it's got a pickup on beat 4 there. So those 3 little markings in the first measure are quarter note rests. And also pay attention to the markings below the staff. Those are the pick directions. The staples are the down and the V's are the upstrokes. So let me play those first 4 measures and then I'll break them on down. Pretty straight ahead here. So 1, 2, 3. Just a little bit there to measure 5, the downbeat of measure 5. I'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it starts on the open D there, the first 2 notes. You got 2 eighth notes on the open D string. And that's the pickup, on beat 4. And then going into measure 2, we're gonna play the open D again. And then we're going to strum, and then open D, and then 2nd fret, D, and the next measure, open G twice, 2 quarter notes there, strum, and then 2nd fret, D, and then the next measure, open D, and we got 4 eighth notes in a row here. It's all on the D string. 0, 2 hammer there. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And remember, hammer-ons or pull-offs take the place of a pick direction and thus it will probably cause a double down or a double up. In this case, it does cause a double up. So really watch your pick direction here. Down, down. So I put all 4 of those together now. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to be playing inside this G chord here, this full G. I will do a different style of G down the road here. And I'm just using my first finger to kind of lift on and off of the D string on the 2nd fret there. So melody is rather simple and it's going to sit on the same note for a long period of time, and we'll get a little bit more expressive with that in the second arrangement. But just know the melody again sits on one note depending on the phrase, right? Sits on that same note for kind of a long period of time and bounces just back and forth between a couple notes. So those 4 measures one more time, just up to speed, and then we'll continue on here. So 1, 2, 3. Then 5, 6, 7, and 8. Getting on the D chord here, and they sound like this: 2, 3, 4. So as you see, there's a C chord there in measure 8. And I just want to make note that depending on which version you're familiar with or who you've watched perform it, they might do it a couple different ways. And some people put that C chord in there while others don't. Okay, so I took this kind of style from Tim O'Brien, and he puts the 4 chord in there. It's just a measure long, but just again, depending on who you're playing with, there may be the C chord in there, and there may not. Okay, and again, this melody will still work. So on measure 5, we're gonna get to the D chord there. We're gonna play the 2nd fret on the G, and then we're gonna strum, and then we're gonna play the 2nd fret G again. Now we have a tied rhythm in there. That's the note in parentheses. It's tied and there's no pick direction below it, right? So there's a little bit of syncopation here. And so we really want to make sure of our timing. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so on beat 4, I'm playing that 2nd fret G note again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, and you want to keep the right hand kind of going. I'm breaking it down pretty slow right now, but when we're playing up to speed, we want to keep the right hand going no matter what. So even if I'm not strumming, or I guess, yeah, plucking notes, hitting strings, I still want the right hand to be always going up and down to help keep my timing and help keep the flow, right? So see how my right hand's still going up and down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So down, down, if you hit more notes than what's written, it's probably not the end of the world if you catch the open E. I'm not fingering that fingering the E string, full D there, but I'm just I don't need to. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then going on, pluck that G string again, strum just down up here, G string. And then G string again, 2nd fret, we're gonna pull to the open string. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 4 hammer on the G. I'm gonna use my pinky to hammer. And then back to the G string, 2nd fret, strum. Then G string again, 2nd fret. Hanging on, the melody hangs on this note right here. It's an A note in relation to the capo. But yes, it hangs on that melody hangs on that note all throughout on the D chord. Then to the next measure here, measure 8, go to a C chord, but I'm not gonna finger a C, I'm just gonna play open G, and then 0 again, 2nd fret G, open G, 2nd fret D. And I will land on the open D in measure 9. So let me play all 4 of those. 2, ready, go. And you can hammer on that 0, 2 in measure 8 there, or pluck it, which is what I have written. So hammer on or plucking there. One more time, up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the first 8 bars. And this tune really is almost 8 bars long. The melody is just slightly different. The first 8 bars compared to the second 8 bars. The whole piece is 16 measures long, but the melody is darn near the same. And depending on who you listen to, again, and what version, how they know the melody, they will sing it just a little bit differently. It's it's an old time tune. It's been around for a long time, so people interpret it a little differently. Doc Watson, Tim O'Brien, and many other bluegrass bands, Ralph Stanley, Flatt and Scruggs. And so just depending on who you listen to, the melody, and sometimes they just do it exactly the same. I noticed Doc Watson did it exactly the same, the first 8 measures, the second 8 measures. So you can almost just repeat the first 8 measures for the second half of your solo if you wanted to. So let me back up and let me just play the first 8 measures for you all in context. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. So that's the first 8 measures, or the first half of the tune. Let's move on to the second half when you're ready.